Hey guys, so in 5.1, we're going to start working with quotients of monomials. So we worked with products of monomials all last chapter, or just multiplying things together, all those laws of exponents when you were multiplying. Now we're going to do the same thing when you're dividing, or basically same thing with fractions. Okay, so the goal here is to simplify quotients or fractions using the laws of exponents. Just a quick review on how to multiply and simplify fractions. Okay, so if you have p over q times r over s, all you do for multiplying fractions is you multiply straight across, right? Multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom, so you get pr over qs. But remember also that you could do this thing called cross cancel, right? All cross canceling is simplifying the fraction before you multiply. Okay, so simplifying fractions, to recall what that looks like, is if you factor something. Okay, so if for a monomial you'd be factoring it, for a just a number you'd be getting prime factorization. Right, when you get the prime factorization, you'll get maybe some factors that are the same. So if you factor two numbers and you get PR over QR, right, and R appears in both of them, they cancel each other out, right? They just kind of get rid of each other, and that's how you're left with P over Q. That's how to get the most reduced or most simplified fraction. Right, the laws of exponents, the same ones that we used last chapter, basically apply in just a little bit different way to quotients. So this first one here is the quotient of powers. So if you have a to the m divided by a to the n, you subtract the exponents, which should seem pretty familiar with you. Right, we've got the same bases, and this time we're dividing, so that's why you're subtracting. Right, but when we had the same exponents and we multiplied, you added the exponents. Okay, so instead of adding them, you're subtracting the exponents. So a quick example here: 4 to the 7th divided by 4 squared. Right, you've got the same base, so you just keep that same base, that base of 4, and then you subtract the exponents, 7 minus 2 power, which is 4 to the 5th power, and you could work that out in your calculator to get the actual answer. Now, power of a quotient, okay, basically if you're doing the power of a quotient, right, you enact that power, the m goes both to the a and the b. Okay, so it's a to the m over b to the m. That's how you do the power of a fraction. Okay, so 3 halves to the 7th is just going to be 3 to the 7th over 2 to the 7th, which once again, with a calculator, you could easily simplify. Let's go to some more examples. So on the back here, this first example, we're just going to be simplifying. We've got some numbers, some x's, and some y's. So take a look at the numbers here. Bzzz. Okay, so we've got 9 and 3, so we need to reduce that fraction of 9 over 3, right? Then we'll work with the x's, and then we'll work with the y's. Okay, so for the 9 over 3, okay, you can cancel this out and make it a 3, cancel that one out and make it a 1, right? So we've got 3 on top. You don't need to worry about writing 1 at the bottom. Okay, we'll just leave it the way it is. Okay, now with the x's, we've got 3 to the x to the 3 minus 2. Okay, is one way to think of it. Or another way to think of it is if you just rewrite this with all the x's out and all the y's out, 3, 2 y's. And on the bottom, we've got 2 x's and 5 y's. Okay, look at it like this, and it's very clear to you what's happening. Okay, what's happening is you just cancel out all the ones that are common. Okay, so 2 of the x's and 2 of the y's go, and count up what we have left. So we still have that 3 on top, and we've just got 1 x up there, and on the bottom we've got 3 y's. So that's how it works. 3x over y cubed. Right, and the second one, we could take a 2 out of both the 4 and the 18 to get 2 over 9. The a's, we cancel 1 from top and bottom. We're left with 2 of them on top. You cancel 1b from both. You're left with 3 b's on bottom. And that's what it looks like. Third one. Okay, we can multiply first, or you could just go right to simplifying, which I would say is pretty much always the better option. Okay, so if we just cross cancel here, 1 and 2, okay, now we can multiply straight across. We've got 1 on top and 4 on bottom. Okay, working with the c's and the d's now. If you look at those c's, we got 4 on top, 2 on bottom, so that leaves us with 2 on top. And the d's, we've got 5 on top, 2 on bottom, leaves us with 3 on top. So c squared d cubed over 4. Number 4 here, we have to do the power first, and then we can try to reduce. So remember that 2 goes with both the top and the bottom, and it's got to go to everything in the top and to everything in the bottom. So we've got 3 squared is 9 r squared, and 5 squared is 25, s squared, or s cubed squared, remember power to a power, you have to multiply, so that's s to the 2 times 3, or 6 to the power. And that's all we could do. Next one, we have to do the laws, follow the laws. Bzzz. Okay, so we have to, my lightsaber noise is not good. We have to do the power first, exponent first, and then multiply the two things together, right? Always do exponents before you multiply. So we'll leave the front one the same way it was, 3y to the 7th, and then we're going to make that third power happen at the top and the bottom. So we've got y to the 12th over 8x to the 6th. Now we can multiply, cross cancel, reduce all at the same time. Okay, the 4 becomes a 1, 8 becomes a 2. Okay, so we've got just 6 on bottom, 1 on top. Now the x's, we've got 1 on top, 6 on bottom, so we're going to be left with 5 on bottom, and 7 y's on the bottom, 12 y's on the top, so we're left with 5 y's on top. Last one, here's the hardest one, kind of. It's not overly crazy, but we have to make that squared happen first. We have to multiply everything by itself. Okay, so remember negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. We've got u to the 6th, v to the 4th, all over 12u squared v to the 4th. Got to make sure that squared attaches to everything on top because of the parentheses. Okay, now we can reduce the numbers. We just have 3 on bottom. The u's, we've got 4 on top, and the v's totally cancel each other out. So we're left with u to the 4th over 3. That's all.